You walk into the store for one thing, milk, that's it. You have a list, you have a plan, you know exactly what you're getting and exactly how much you're spending. 40 minutes later, you're standing at checkout with a cart full of things that weren't on that list. A candle, a snack you don't remember picking up, a family pack of something you live alone and definitely don't need in bulk. You think, I just got a little distracted. That's on me. Here's the question worth following for the next 12 minutes. What if almost none of that was an accident? What if the walk from the entrance to the milk, the shelf height of every item you passed, the music playing overhead, and the exact wording on that buy one, get one sign were all built, tested, measured, and refined, specifically to make that happen? Here's the sentence that changes how you see every store you'll ever walk into again. You didn't wander through that store. The store walked you through itself. Let's go back to the entrance, because the influence starts before you've picked up a single item. Most grocery stores put fresh produce right at the entrance, not because it makes logistical sense, but because colorful fruits and vegetables signal freshness and health, putting you in a more generous, positive mood right as your shopping trip begins. Retail researchers sometimes call this the decompression zone, the first several feet of a store where shoppers are still transitioning from outside mode to shopping mode, and where stores deliberately place softer, low-pressure displays because people aren't fully paying attention yet. Notice also what's almost never near the entrance: the milk, the eggs, the bread, the staples you actually came for. Those essentials tend to sit at the very back of the store or scattered strategically apart from each other. That's not poor planning. Forcing you to walk the full length of the store to reach a basic staple means you pass everything else along the way. You haven't bought anything yet, and the store has already started working on you. So how does the store actually guide where you walk and what you see? Store layout design is a real research discipline. Common patterns include the racetrack layout, common in warehouse and big box stores, where a single main aisle loops around the entire perimeter, passing by as many departments as possible before you can exit. Grid layouts, common in traditional grocery stores, use long, narrow aisles specifically to maximize the number of products directly at eye level as you walk past. Speaking of eye level, shelf placement itself is a negotiated, sometimes literally paid for battleground. Brands often pay slotting fees for premium shelf space at eye level, because eye level placement measurably increases sales compared to items placed higher or lower. This is sometimes summarized with a small industry saying eye level is buy level. Meanwhile, items placed at true floor level or high above reach tend to sell less, not because they're worse products, but because they require more physical and mental effort to notice. Then there's the checkout lane itself. Small, low-cost, high-margin items like candy, gum, and magazines placed exactly where you have nothing to do but wait and look. That placement isn't random either. It specifically targets impulse decisions made in idle moments when your guard is lowest. Now let's talk about the price tags themselves, because even those are engineered more than most people realize. Charm pricing, ending a price in 0.99 or 0.97 instead of a round number, consistently shows up in pricing research as increasing perceived value, even though the actual difference is a single cent. Something priced at $9.99 tends to feel meaningfully cheaper than $10 to most shoppers, despite the gap being effectively nothing. Then there's the bundle. Buy two, get one free, or 3 for $5 doesn't just offer a discount, it changes the unit of decision. Instead of deciding whether you want one item, you're now deciding whether you want a deal. And deals are psychologically harder to walk away from than single items, even when you didn't need 3 of whatever it is. Stores also use decoy pricing, placing a medium-sized option priced almost as high as the large option, specifically to make the large option look like the obviously smarter choice. The medium size might barely sell at all. Its entire job is to make you feel smart for choosing the large one instead. None of these individually feel manipulative in the moment. That's exactly the point. Let's talk about what it actually costs a retailer to build this kind of environment, because none of it is free or accidental. Large retail chains employ dedicated teams, often called visual merchandising, category management or retail analytics teams whose entire job is testing layouts, shelf placement, and pricing against sales data. Major grocery and retail chains routinely run structured experiments across store locations, adjusting one variable at a time, shelf height, sign wording, all width, and measuring the resulting change in sales down to fractions of a percentage point. This isn't guesswork dressed up as science. It's closer to a continuous, ongoing experiment running in the physical space you're standing in, refined store by store, season by season, often supported by loyalty card and point-of-sale data tracking exactly what gets purchased together. Here's the counterintuitive part. The most profitable part of your shopping trip usually isn't the plan you walked in with. It's the unplanned purchase, what the industry sometimes calls impulse. Buys and stores are disproportionately built around maximizing exactly that category. Retail research has repeatedly found that a meaningful share of total grocery spending, commonly cited in the range of a fifth to over half depending on the study, store type, and how unplanned is defined, comes from items shoppers didn't originally intend to buy when they walked in. The staples you came for are often priced with relatively thin margins. They exist partly to get you into the store in the first place. The impulse items scattered along your path tend to carry meaningfully higher margins. Call it the milk at the back model. The thing you actually need is the bait, positioned as far as possible from the entrance. And everything between you and it is the actual business. Your grocery list gets you in the door. The walk to fulfill it is where the store makes its real money. It's worth noting this strategy has real limits and risks for stores too. Push impulse-oriented layout too hard and shoppers report frustration. Longer perceived wait times and a sense of being manipulated, which can measurably hurt customer loyalty and repeat visits over time. This is part of why some retailers, particularly warehouse clubs and discount grocers, have moved toward more streamlined, no-frills layouts, not necessarily out of goodwill, but because for certain customer segments, efficiency and trust can be more profitable long-term than maximizing every single impulse opportunity. The single variable that determines how much of this actually affects you is decision fatigue, how much mental bandwidth you have left by the time you're making a choice. Shoppers who are tired, hungry, rushed, or shopping with children make measurably more impulse purchases than shoppers who are well-rested and unhurried, because resisting subtle nudges takes active mental effort, and that effort depletes over the course of a shopping trip. This is part of why grocery stores are frequently busiest, and impulse-heavy sections most effective. In the early evening, when shoppers are tired from work, hungry, and running on the least mental reserve of the day. Let's put a simplified, illustrative number on a single trip. Say you go in for milk, planning to spend $8. Along the way, a $4 bag of chips positioned at eye level near the entrance, a buy two, get one free snack deal that nudges you into a $9 purchase instead of a $3 one, and a $6 impulse item at checkout you don't fully remember choosing. Your planned $8 trip becomes a $27 trip, not because you lost control, but because roughly every stage of that walk was built by someone whose job is specifically to produce exactly that outcome, tested and refined across thousands of stores and millions of transactions. So the next time you walk into a store with a short list and a clear plan, pay attention to the walk itself, the colors near the entrance, the shelf height of what catches your eye, the deal that reframes your decision. None of it is neutral and very little of it is accidental. You didn't wander through that store. The store walked you through itself.